You're listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marci Persky. You know those Thanksgiving dinners where you feel like, oh my gosh, I ate so much I'm going to end up in the hospital? Try reversing that. Marci just had her wrist rebuilt, and now she gets to watch her family arrange Thanksgiving dinner. So, how's your arm? Oh, the beautiful cast. Cast of thousands.
Yeah, it sure is. It's like the worst cast ever. I'm like dying. I keep bonking myself with it like all the time after how many surgeries I've had in my life. This one was hard. So for 2 weeks, I sat sitting up in a chair with my arm up on a pillow. We got the stitches out, which was traumatic, really traumatic. So I had already worked myself up into this state. And somehow, I don't know why, but I convinced myself that my wrist was going to look like a door thing. The little things that make your door open and close.
Hinge?
On the side. Thank you.
Your wrist would look like a door hinge?
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was going to be, I would see like all this metal stuff.
Oh, no, I think the metal is inside.
Frankie went with me because Frankie's just a saint. He went in with me to the room, and all I did, I'm breaking his arm with my good hand like I'm having a baby.
Yeah. Well, now he knows what he missed.
Yeah. And I'm telling myself, don't look, don't look, don't look. So finally all comes off, and of course I look.
Yeah.
And I passed out.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. This poor doctor, she said, you're my first appointment of the day.
Has anybody else passed out before?
She was being really nice about it. I think that definitely think I'm the biggest wuss patient to ever cross their doors. I mean, it's pretty gnarly looking.
Could I just suggest
that much?
Could I suggest that next time you request a screen between you and your hand?
Or a bag to put over my head.
And blinders, like one of those carriage horses.
It's a lot of stitches. It goes like from right below my knuckles, halfway up my arm.
I don't think I want to hear about that either.
Anyway, so I had to go lay down. They put me on a lay down place to put the cast on. And it's a lovely, she asked me what color I wanted.
Oh,
and I
that's
couldn't
very
speak.
fetching of them to ask you, yes. And you picked...
I couldn't speak. I was still like in shock. So she chose for me, and it's this lovely, like, burgundy wine color.
It's very lovely. It's a little bit 80s, kind of retro.
I'm retro.
Yeah, it's kind of eggplant burgundy type of cross thing. Yeah, very pretty.
But today I actually ordered a soft cover to go over it because I have not been able to sleep since Tuesday. I can be in my bed now, but I keep bonking myself in the head with this cast. And I've got bruises all over my skull from this stupid cast.
So is this a late night TV advertisement, this soft cover thing that you're going to
No, I just Googled it. But you know what my worst fear is now?
What?
Thanksgiving is next week.
Yeah, they're making Thanksgiving for you, you said.
But I'm not going to be able to open my jars of gravy.
You and your jars of gravy.
And after you made so much fun of my jars of gravy, no one here said they're going to buy any. I said, but I need my jars of gravy. It's part of my traditional Thanksgiving. But yes, I cannot open my gravy jars.
Maybe this year they'll figure out how to make gravy for you. Maybe maybe it'll be the Thanksgiving gravy challenge.
I don't know. The whole Thanksgiving thing has me a little nervous because no one has ever cooked Thanksgiving for me besides my mother, I don't think.
It's amazing to me every year as a radio host that there were always radio stations, news and talk stations that would turn a portion of their broadcast day over to some expert on cooking turkey.
And I did that this morning on stupid, I'm not going to say the name of it, but the morning show that I wake up to every morning.
So here's the deal. There's absolutely nothing in this world that is easier to do than cook a turkey.
No, you season it and throw it in the oven
You
and
don't
leave it there
even,
all
I
day.
mean, you could theoretically, you could just throw some salt on there and some pepper and throw it in. And I mean, really, there is absolutely nothing. It's like somebody saying, how do you eat a candy cane? You open the wrapper, you put it in your mouth. Is this a whole nation of people who just perpetually
Can't read a
cycle?
label.
Well, there's that, or a whole nation of people who perpetually cycle through the drive-throughs of America, like they never, ever, ever open an oven and put anything in there. I think you turn your oven on. You make sure you've washed your turkey. You put it in. I mean, I do stuff with a turkey that you could or couldn't do, but I
Yeah,
just
I
don't.
like to
It's
do. I do
not
fancy
hard.
stuff,
What do you do that's
but did you
fancy?
no fancy? Well, sometimes
Yes.
I make a glaze with orange juice and honey and other things that gives it like this orangey kind of taste.
So it matches your hair.
Exactly. Other times, I will use just a lot of garlic, enough to kill a vampire, because we do live out here in the forest, and I think there are vampires lurking.
Okay.
Sometimes I will like use butter, which I know you can't do that,
Yeah. Well, it's all right.
but I change it up. I like to change it up with different seasonings and different glazes and stuff
But
like
even
that. Just
even
to,
so, it still
it's
comes
still
down to the
easy
same thing. You put the turkey in the
in the
oven,
oven.
and then you
And
take it out. I
exactly.
don't understand. It's kind of like when I figured out how easy it was to make mashed potatoes, or even easier.
You
I
open up the box and put it in.
that was
In
what
the
that was
measuring
what I'd
cup.
been raised to believe was necessary. And then I found out that you take potatoes and then you smash them, and then you put in whatever oil you wish to use, salt, pepper, voila. But the one that really astonished me, because it really literally only has two ingredients at minimum, cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce that I grew up, I thought it must be some really elaborate thing because it came in the can, right? And then you sliced it. And I always wondered, why did they call it cranberry sauce? It's a solid. It's not a sauce. Why is it called cranberry sauce? And then there was some lady on public radio who was a famous news person, and she would go on and on about her grandmother's cranberry relish every year that everybody wanted to make. But the cranberry sauce, it would jiggle on your plate, and it would mystify me completely. And cranberry sauce has literally two ingredients. You take cranberries
Cranberries.
and sugar. I guess water. Do you count water as an ingredient?
No.
No. So you boil the cranberries and you dump in a pint load of sugar, and there's your cranberry sauce. You can make it fancy. You can put in, orange zest, or you can put in cloves, or you can put in cinnamon, or whatever you want to. But bottom line, it becomes cranberry sauce with the addition of water and sugar, period. And why people feel like this is a challenge, I don't know. I just don't know. It'd be like, okay, you know how I feel like it was explained to me once that people with developmental disabilities can many folks with developmental disabilities can easily learn to do day-to-day life things, providing that you break them down into small steps.
Right.
Right. Like if you have someone who's developmentally disabled, you can teach him or her to make a peanut butter sandwich. You just can't say it's bread and peanut butter and jam. You have to say, go get a loaf of bread, take out a slice, take out the peanut butter. I feel like the world of media treats us all like we're developmentally disabled at the holidays.
We might all be, It
By
could be
now,
that everybody since our parents, from our parents on, needs TV news to tell us how to cook our
I
turkey.
guess.
Or the Butterball hotline.
Yeah, I think that they've sold us on our own incompetence. I think that's what's happened. You need us. No, actually, I don't. No, you need us. You need us. Or
This
your
is gonna
family
be my-
will fall apart at the Thanksgiving table, and people will hurl unopened bottles of gravy at one another. No, it will not happen.
I'm going to have to find a place to put myself that's far away from the kitchen where I can't see anything that's happening.
Yeah, or
Because
hear it.
because I'm very, 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 very much the boss of my kitchen, as everybody can tell you. And if like I find a crumb on the counter. I go and grab the sponge and I'm washing it. And they laugh at me, but this has been rough. Not being able to clean
In
my
charge, not being in
kitchen.
charge. It says
Not
nothing to
being
do
in
with
charge,
clean. It's
yes.
not being in charge.
Yep.
I kind of wish I lived there. I'd have some fun.
Yeah, you really would.
I'm going to just drip this beet juice up and down your counter.
Yeah, I don't believe me. It's already happening, and I don't think it's being done on purpose.
If you've made it this far, chances are you've been enjoying Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. In which case, you might also like my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air. You can find that at your neighborhood independent bookstore or on Amazon. Marci and I really appreciate your good reviews wherever you care to leave them. Your kind words help the podcast grow. Thanks.